Okay, in the name of God, this is Kadkhodazadeh, Professor of Periodontics at Bishti University of Medical Sciences. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here, and I really pleased about this presentation. But before starting, I'd like to send my special thanks to my master, Professor Tamizi, and I hope everything goes well around him. Today and in this presentation, I'm going to talk about an innovative technique for crystal maxillary sinus elevation that is published in different journals. To dental implant insertion is very necessary to have enough bone volume for surrounding the fixture. But actually, after extraction, the bone resorption happens and it makes the dental implant procedure challenged. As you know, if there is not enough height of bone in the posterior of maxilla for standard dental implantation, we have some choices. For example, open sinus lift, closed sinus lift, short implants, zygomatic implants, and angle implants. Many years ago, Sommer presented crystal approach for maxillary sinus elevation by using osteotome. Since then, this technique has been used widely by clinicians. It's not convenient for patients though. So several methods have been presented since a couple years ago to get this technique improved. Okay, today I'd like to present my innovative, less invasive and conservative approach for crystal maxillary sinus elevation by using a screw expander, which I have been holding on for my patients since 8 years ago. Actually, the screw expander makes the bone compressed and elevates the lower border and lower wall of maxillary sinus vertically. That's why I named this technique VES, vertical screw expander technique. This technique is not only simple to do for the clinicians, but also is pretty comfortable for the patients. It can be used for the maxillary sinus even if the lower border is not flattened. Okay, after local anesthesia, first the crystal incision is done and then the flap is reflected full thicknessly. Drilling is started by using a starter drill with 800 RPM till 1 to 2 millimeter near the lower border of maxillary sinus. After that, the screw expanders are used sequentially till the last drill diameter and length of implants. One drill less must be used than the last drill for preparing the hole of implant. Implant is inserted in the prepared hole and after closing of cover screw, flap is sutured. Post-operative surgery recommendations are as the same as the simple periodontal surgery. It's better to say it's possible to use this technique, VES technique, via flapless approach. For example, in this slide you can see the 4 millimeters, the lower border of maxillary sinus is elevated. And in this slide you can see radiographic and clinical findings of this technique in several cases. And here in this slide the CBCT shows that the bone formation and bone maturation surrounded by the fixture. Actually, either when we use the screw expander for maxillary sinus elevation, the concavity of bone is corrected. So I'm gonna show a short movie about this technique for you. this is the view of Milad Tower from my house. And finally, it's better to say the West technique and simultaneous dental implant placement can bear favorable clinical and radiographical outcomes and high survival rate in carefully selected cases. Okay, in conclusion, there are many ways have been presented about maxillary sinus elevation by different scientists, but based on my study and experience, I believe that the West technique has some advantages. At first, conservative and less invasive approach, high predictable, easy to do and user friendly, convenient for the patient, and the last but not the least, it's possible to use the West technique for the maxillary sinus even if the lower border is not flattened. So there it is, another snowy view of Milad Tower from my uni. At the end, again, I'd like to thank all of you for paying attention to my presentation, and a special thank to Dr. Amit for helping me out doing this project, and I hope everything goes well around you.